man, what a trip, huh? What a trip. My router shut down again. Like, what do you do when your router shuts off on you? And you're like, what in the world? I can't believe that. Like, what do you call it? WTF? WTF? My router shut down. Like, I'm like talking away, and I realize everything goes red and blang, I'm gone. And I hear my router like clicking. Like, what the heck? I cannot believe that. What is going on? Jeez. So, yeah, huh. Oh, there's a little bit of chat there. Only nobody's in here. Maybe only 3. Yeah. Yeah, what a trip. Well, now everything's green. Like, I was having problems where the stream health said yellow. I was in the yellow, and then it went to red, like red light. And it said disconnected. And it was the router disconnecting me. The router disconnected all by itself. What it is with ATT has been doing that to me for 3 days now. Just, I don't know. I think it was the router this time. Maybe aliens. Really, you had a reboot? Huh. I had a reboot too, believe it or not. Like, what a weird trip, huh? Yeah, so, I'm talking about like all the cool things of the time that we live in, right? We live in some really cool times. And like, I'm up in the air 5 miles, and I was sitting there trying to figure it out. And the pilot says, well, you're flying at 38,000 feet. And I was thinking, man, wait, what is that? 5 goes into 38. It was like over 5 miles high. And I'm looking at this view. And then it starts dawning on me that we're the first people in history in the last probably 100 years out of thousands of years that I know of anyways, at least a couple of thousand years or more, that we're the only ones that could actually take in a view like that. And I flew to Florida in one day, and I thought, man, what like my relatives that lived in Tennessee and way back in the day when they were migrating out to the West Coast, it took them months and people died on the way, to get here. And we live in a really cool, lucky time where we can hop on a plane. Like when I went to Africa, it was 12 hours to Europe and then about 11 hours from Europe to Africa. And here goes my internet again, you guys. It's going to go again. It's starting to do it again. I might have to dump ATT also. And I'm going to say that Cold Warrior, how's it going, brother? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. You're not going? I'm going back to bed, but I'm not going back to sleep. Yeah. Man, I had a really good phone call today from somebody that like the internet. Like here I am, and I'm talking to people all over the world, right? Live. And we take everything so for granted, like it's stone, that we can do this stuff. Like we could hop in our car, and I could hop in the car and drive 3 hours and be way far. It would have took a week or more to go that far, only like 150 years ago, or before, just when it was buggy and horse and buggy. And that's not that far, man. Like I think my great grandma, I was talking to her before she passed away, and she was saying that like it was horse and buggy for her, and she watched the cars come in, and then the TV, and the radio, all this. I mean, like all that stuff happened when she was alive. And I always thought, wow, she got to see that, But just think of what we get to see. Like the only one of the things I wanted to do was fly on the SST and fly supersonic transport, and I never did. I don't know why they stopped doing that. Like, what's up with that? I mean, for years, like in the 70s, you could get on a supersonic transport and be in, fly like far, and they wouldn't let anybody fly them over the United States when they did the sonic booms and they got rid of them. Yeah, it's kind of a trip, but only, yeah, like technology is like crazy now. I mean, here we are with these things, right? I mean, everybody has a phone. Anybody could go live on Facebook. You know, it's really a trip. Yeah, the railroads. I like back in the day, my great grandpa and grandma. I mean that they were really they were into trains. You know what I mean? Like they even had model trains and stuff like that. I mean that their trains were a big deal to those guys, and so were planes, like World War I and II planes and stuff like that. I mean they had models of everything and little what do they call them I can't remember, but I mean I would go to my grandpa's house and he would have these little trains and stuff like that. Oh man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Our phones are the like what our phone is used to be a football field of computers to do what our phone does now that you could carry in your pocket. And in fact, I was just a few. What you guys remember a few years ago when that airplane went down, and there was a crop circle over by San Francisco or by the Bay Area over there, and everybody's trying to figure out what it was, and they thought it was. Well, it turned out to be it looked like a circuit board, kind of like. And actually, NVIDIA made that crop circle. And the actual picture that they did with the crop circle, they had a technology 500 cores in one processor. 500 cores in one processor. Like I'm getting excited about having 8 in my computer, right? Or 12 even. And 12's pushing it for us. But 500 cores they can actually do now in one processor. And I remember when I first got my when I first got my very first 1 gigabyte hard drive. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to use 1 gigabyte like that. Oh my God, 1 gigabyte. Can you imagine how much that is? That's like so much room. I mean, here, like not long before that, there wasn't even a hard drive. We put little floppy disks in and that booted the computer. And then you take it out and put another floppy drive in, to have the program you were using. I mean, it's crazy what we're doing right now, Well, like pictures, like remember TV? Like we only had like 3 channels. It was black and white. Now you can have like a 60-inch TV in your house, and they have this hot 4K video. And I mean, you can see every freckle or line or pimple on these people's faces. I mean, I feel sorry for the people that are movie stars and stuff now. I mean, now you can see every little detail, and sometimes if it's too big, you get sick. I mean, like you're sitting there and it's almost more real than what if you looked out the window, the TVs are. It's like, geez, yeah. It's a trip. Let's see. 420, Pat Rock. What's up? Yep, 210 megabytes. Yeah. Yeah, probably misunderstood. Hopefully, it's just a misunderstanding. How's it going, man? How's everything? Yeah, now, thinking about that, think about the military. Supposedly, we're like 35 or 40 years behind them. So, what do they have? Like one of the things I think about is the last time that they came out with technology, they released technology was the 117 fighter, the A1. Am I saying it right? The A117 fighter, right? And that was in the 90s. And I remember because Odie, Larry Walker, that's in the chat right here, he was in surgery to save his life for cancer. And we were sitting in the waiting room, and he was 18 at the time. He's now 48 years old, and he had a esophageal cancer, and they gave him like what was it, Odie, like 5% chance to live, right, and 95% chance to die. And they were in a surgery to remove his esophagus, and I mean it was saving his life. And believe it or not, he walked off that cancer and beat it. And here he is today in our chat. I don't know if he's back yet or not, but so while we're sitting in the waiting room, they did the shock and awe. Remember that? The shock and awe? Bush came out and he says, "Yeah, we're going to do the shock and awe, you know." And they came out with this stealth fighter. And that was what, like, no, it was 95% to death. 95%, 5% chance to live. But they said nobody really lives from esophageal cancer. Almost everybody dies. So you're a walking miracle, Odie. But we're in there and we're waiting in the surgery, and they did the shock and awe. Now that was the last time we seen technology come out, except for the B2, I think it is. But it's the same thing. I think they came out at the same time, right? Pretty much. So now that's been 20 some odd years, and we haven't seen anything new come out, really, at all. And just imagine what they have now. I mean, how come they're not telling us or showing us or anything? And then we're paying for it, believe it or not, with our taxes. We pay for all that stuff, you know. Right, yeah. Frequencies. In fact, like right now, like I know they have right now, I've talked to a lot of people that are in the military or just out of the military, and they're telling me like they can put voices in your head, and they probably could have now for like 30 or 40 years. Like one guy that I know, he flew in like the AWACS, and he said that like they could shut off everybody's electricity if they want to, everybody's cell phone systems. I mean, with the flick of a switch, they could fly over a country and actually just shut everyone off. They can record everything, but only they know the frequencies of our brain wave and stuff like that now, and they can, like, remember in the Iraq War, and they had the big long parade of troops going in, like we're gonna surprise them, right? Yeah, right. It was all over the news, and these guys have this 5 mile long tanks and trucks and everything going into the war to do the shock and awe and all this stuff. But when they got over there, all the Iraqis were giving up. Remember, they're all sitting there with their hands on their head and everything, and the government said that they dropped flyers and told them to give up. That doesn't scare those guys. Are you kidding? Flyers don't scare them. they said something to them and made them think they were God, right? They put voices in, they told them to give up. They were telling them to give up in their mind using a frequency. That's what they did. That's why they gave up. They thought God was talking to them. You know what I mean? Like they were like they don't even want to mess around with anything that could talk to them straight up in their brain. And I mean, that's really what happened. And I'm probably going to get killed for that now, you know. But I don't care. I'm old. They can kill me, you know, whatever. Yeah. Me too, man. I love talking with you guys. I love the chat. That what I like is able to interact with everyone. That to me is the coolest thing, man. To be able like it's I want to interact. So like with the chat, I think that's the coolest thing. But I can't stay. Five Dead Fox, howdy, bro. Hopefully it's a bro. Yeah, Winner Walker. She's married to Odie or Larry Walker. That's his wife. That's my daughter-in-law. But yeah, Odie almost didn't make it there, and he was on chemo like for a whole year after that surgery. But he made it. He walked it off. He walks everything. And we call him Odie the Walker Talker because he would walk and talk, and he actually walked it off. And he's still with us today, and he's found him a wife and everything, man. You know, pretty proud of him. Pretty proud of him. Got their own apartment. Like I am really proud of him. Not a bro, right on. I'm glad I said that. It's a girl, darn. You know, I almost blew it, didn't I? You know. Yeah, we're like happy that Odie's still with us. You know, really. We were worried about him there for a little while, but he bounced right back. He's tougher than cancer. You know, cancer can't kill him. Really, you were close to a Bigfoot when you were little? Okay, I'm not too worried. I just I don't want to like call people bros when they're not bros, though. You know. But yeah, earlier I chatted with a guy earlier that he's had quite a few Bigfoot encounters, and they're recent ones. Like and he's an older gentleman, you know, in his 50s like me, and I could take a call, you know, but I gotta go. I got a lot of stuff to do, and I thought I just wanted to come in and tell everybody to think of a new name for our channel, and help me to figure out how to sell things like this, because there's only one, and I want to make it fair to everyone. Like I want to give everybody a like maybe they can bid on it, you know. And I just want to say, oh, this is $39.95, and then have everybody send me $39.95, and only one person get it, and then take their money. Nah, I wouldn't do that, you know. But I could figure out if we could figure out a way to, you know, auction it off or something like that. I think that's the best way to do it. But I have a whole bunch of stuff to do. It's for the good of the channel. Yeah, but only I'm not a take guy. I'm just not. I'm the guy that I give everything. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to being on the other side of where, I don't know, the receiving end. I'm not used to that. I really am not. I mean, you guys are going to make me cry because I'm not used to it at all. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to try to do it. Yeah, I know God's been dealing with me about that, Barbara, like, because I prayed about it. Actually, before I started this, I prayed about it, and because I didn't, after Jeffrey let me go, I was like, I didn't know what to do with myself again. You know, here I am. I'm leaking a little bit. Sorry, guys. But let me see if I can get this together. But Jeffrey let me go, and I didn't know what I was gonna do, and he was telling me that he wanted me to give the YouTube channel to him because, see, it was actually my YouTube channel for, I don't know, like 7 years or something like that, since 2012, or 5 years. I started in July of 2012, I think, and so during, we're me and Jeff are doing this show Paranormal Central, and we're going along, and we weren't getting any traction. Nobody was watching us or anything. We were lucky if we got like 25 viewers or 50 or something like that. And I told him, really, we should be on YouTube. And he's like, YouTube, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, no, really, we should be on YouTube. And he's like, nah. I go, well, let me take one of our shows, and I'll take it off the computer. I mean, we're doing the show on my computer, so when I came home, I had all the shows on my computer. You know what I mean? Saved on my computer. So I took the show and I put it on YouTube, and then it started taking off. And then Jeff's like, hey, that was a good idea. Go ahead and put them on there. Well, 280 shows, once a week. Think of that, like 280 weeks of shows. And I still have them on my YouTube. Jeffrey made me take them down. He was like, because I wouldn't give him the channel. And I told him, man, I can't give you the channel. It's my email. It's my Gmail. It's my bank's attached to it. I mean, that's my main email and everything for years. And I didn't even think when I started doing it. Actually, a couple of years before that, about a year or so before, he fired me or told me, no more me and him. I created a Paranormal Central YouTube account with, and I gave him the password and everything. And I told him, look, put your bank account on it. Start your, let's put all the videos on there. And he's like, nah, YouTube ain't all that. It's all live stream. He goes, I want to be on TV, or. But then whenever we broke off, then all of a sudden he's like, I want the YouTube. I was like, sorry, man, that's my YouTube. He goes, okay, then you got to take all the shows off. I'm like, what? That's going to hurt. That doesn't hurt me. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt me. It hurts him. They can't find him now. You know what I mean? Like, he has a YouTube channel. Now he started his own YouTube channel, but only he has 280 shows on this channel that if I left him on there, they could find him still, and I'm not going to give up the channel. I mean, it's mine, it's my, if I could, I would, but I don't know how you unattach your bank and all your email account contacts, all this stuff that's attached to it. I mean, my Facebook account, Twitter, you name it, it's all attached to that email. And I don't feel like, going through the whole thing. It's easier for me to take all the videos off, And believe it or not, we have, with that show, we were sneaking up on 1.5 million views right there. So I don't understand the reasoning behind it, but didn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt. It just took me some time to do it. It only hurts him, really. I go on. I mean, it says I have 8,000 subs, but only there isn't 8,000 people watching me. I don't. It didn't hurt me a bit, really. It really hurt him, though. It really hurt him, And I even told him that he could give me his shows, and I'll put them on my YouTube channel still and pump them and push them, and he could still have all all the stuff, and I'll even demonetize it. I don't care. You know, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, it wasn't about the money to him, anyways, really. But and neither to me either. It really wasn't about. It isn't about the money. It's about what you're doing that you love. Yeah, I think so too. I get told that a lot. That and I know we did we were both different. You know what I mean? But only we complemented each other, and that's why it worked so well, really. And we went from nothing to we were blasting off there. But then when you take me out of the mix, that chemistry thing is gone. You know what I mean? And now he has to be able to make up for that, whatever it was that we had. This chemistry that made everybody want to watch. And it's going to be really hard for him to. And I'm not bagging on him, and I'm not saying I don't like him and all that stuff. I'm just saying, that it's going to be hard for him. I'm not. I'm going to do my own thing right here, and I'm going to keep on. I'm going to keep changing whatever, on this thing, here, changing the name. That would be like changing the name on your YouTube channel is like crazy, right? Well, I already changed it 3 times. I'm getting ready to do it. And I even got a message from YouTube, or actually Google, saying that you can only change it 3 times in 90 days. So be careful, Only now my 90 days is up, so I have 3 more times again, and I want to change it again because I'm not the Squatch zone. I'm the zone. I'm in the zone, but I'm in the chat zone. I like that chat zone thing, but yeah, I don't know, that part about the girl, way back in 2015, I knew the girl was going to be my replacement. Like he's on his 5th or 6th girl. The problem is they're the problem with the girls that Jeff has is they're actresses, okay, and they're not really into the paranormal. I mean, they are horror movies and stuff like that. Like if they're going to act in a horror movie, but really they don't have any knowledge of UFOs or aliens or actually even the monsters that they're going to be talking about in the horror movie. You know what I mean? They don't know, and it's a steep learning curve for them to overcome. And I think that's I think that if he's going to find somebody to fill the seat that I sat in, he needs to find somebody that has a good round or a wheelhouse of paranormal, knows, has researched things and stayed up on aliens and UFOs and Bigfoots and monsters and all this stuff, because there's no way you could sit there and talk coherently with guests and stuff like that if you don't even know what they're talking about. And so that's where I am at on that. That's how I feel about it. But only I'm not mad at him or anything like that. I wish him well, really. And I would go hang out with him but only he's not calling me, so I'm not hanging out with him. And actually, the more that he doesn't call me, the more I'm probably not gonna go and hang out with him. I'm probably gonna just do my own thing and just keep doing my own thing and not look back. You know what I mean? Like that was a chapter in my life, and it was fun, and I enjoyed the heck out of it, and I didn't know that I would have, and now I do know, and I want to go for it like on my own thing and set my own schedule and do my own investigating and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. His wife is really on. She is up on. She's a great lady. In fact, she does ground him. She reels him in whenever he gets a little bit out there and stuff. She actually, like, she's smart too. She probably does as much research or more than I do. She reads all the books, all that stuff, and I mean, she's up on everything. She would be a good one to sit in the chair because she knows what she's talking about. I just don't know if they would get along. You know what I mean? Sitting there, because they might like get sidetracked on personal issues. Yeah, like he might say something and she'll like, what? What did you say that for? You might see a big argument right on the set. But yeah, she is smart though. She knows what she's talking about for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man. Okay, like I talked to this guy today. Yeah, she is. She might even be stronger than Jeff, but like strong headed, and willed or whatever. But today I talked to this guy for almost 3 hours on the phone, and we talked about Bigfoot, and he hadn't seen a Bigfoot his whole life, and he lives in Washington State, and all of a sudden, he had an encounter, like, and it was like he wasn't looking for it. He wasn't, doing anything. And he's had some pretty out there encounters with these things, and they now he's on a daily basis having like, and I mean, like, they're, I don't even know what to make of it, really, tell you the truth. From what he tells me, he's but he's full on board of that they're real, and like, I don't even know how to talk about it. Like, he told me, like, I can talk about it. He's so new in it that he wants to share, but he doesn't want to be made fun of or people to think he's crazy or anything like that. And it's kind of what he was talking about, like I talk about some really out there stuff, and I think that's why he called me. Like, I had some weird encounters, all through my life, real supernatural, like, and he's having real supernatural encounters now, but they've actually healed him, and they didn't just heal him. When his mom had an enlarged heart, and they healed his mom. In fact, they healed his mom twice now. He asked them to, and they did. And I guess his family thought he was crazy at first, and then he asked them to make their self real to his family, and they did. So now all his family knows he's telling the truth. because they all have had something happen that made them know they're real. And yeah, I mean, I want to do something special for her. My wife, and we're getting ready to celebrate 40 years. And 40 years, you guys. 40 years. They'll be married 40 years this month. He's saying they are orbs, that they can be orbs. And they come around him all the time. But, like, he was saying that. Thank you, you guys, man. I was tripping. I'm tripping. 40 years, and I feel so lucky. Like, I feel lucky. Like, I'm alive, for one. I didn't die. The doctor didn't kill me, and I have a second chance, like Odie. Everybody almost lost me there for a little while, and I just feel like blessed, like crazy. I have a great wife. Now I have great friends on the internet that I get to talk with and chat with like this, and I want to do more and more. In fact, I want to travel. I want to figure out how to travel around and go to people's areas and meet them and go explore other paranormal things in other people's areas, right? But yeah, so like I want to go up and see that guy, the one we're talking about right now, where he says they like he didn't believe in him even after he was having his encounter. He's like, you know what? I don't believe in him. I don't believe in him. I don't believe you. That you're. I don't believe you're a Bigfoot or anything like that. I don't believe all that. And so he asked them to prove their self. So then in the middle of the night when he's asleep in his bedroom, he feels like, let's see, if I ever make it to South Indiana, man, I mean, I have family. I have a son and I have two sons and a daughter in Indiana, somewhere over by Fort Wayne, over there somewhere. I know they're not in Fort Wayne, but they're somewhere out there by Fort Wayne. I have some grandkids, and I got two sons and a daughter and a son-in-law and everything over there, daughters-in-laws. But they're all over in Indiana. So I will be making it to Indiana sooner or later. Ha, that's funny, Cold Warrior. He kind of is like that, huh? Like, I noticed he started his own store, and he had, like, if you guys want Paranormal Central gear, Jeffrey is now selling Paranormal Central gear, and there's a link, and it's pretty cool stuff. I might even buy some myself. But yeah, but I want to go to Alaska too, because Alaska is where the auroras are. Exactly, Ghost Wolf. That is on my bucket list, to see the aurora borealis and to see it like up in the northern climes. But I don't care if it's in Alaska, or if it's like earlier there was somebody in, where was it? Where was it, you guys? I think they can see it there too. It was in the other side of the world from us. But I don't care where I see it. I mean, it could be Scotland or anything. Man, let's go. I'm ready. Let's go to Alaska. What is it, like only like a 3-day drive or something? And the biggest bears and the biggest Bigfoots. Like, the Bigfoots over there are known to, like, was it, maybe it was, I can't remember where it was. There's Hawaii, right? Hi, Aaron. Yeah, Jeffrey, he worships I think it was Sweden. Yeah. I never been there. I don't know if they could see the aurora borealis or not, but bring my visa. There's nothing on my visa. I'm broke. If I go, I'm going to be hitchhiking everywhere because I can't afford to go anywhere, man. It takes 4 days from Oregon. Yeah. Yeah, it's a long ways to Alaska. I've had friends go there, but only like I thought maybe like if I could find a friend that has a pilot license, and a small plane, or maybe we could rent or like charter like a little small plane and fly over there. We could probably make it there in a day or so. Hey, bro, how you doing, man? I salute you. Yeah, they fix. I heard it was a rocky road. I heard it was a really rocky road to Alaska, and I heard it was rough too, man. In fact, I heard that the Bigfoots over there grab big old huge giant 2 foot around trees and yank them out of the ground, turn them upside down, and stick them back down in the ground. So you go over there and there's all these upside down trees with the roots up. Like I want to see that too. Like that would be kind of cool. It really would. I think that would be cool. Anyways, I don't know. Like I get goosebumps thinking about that. Like if there was you know Bigfoots that can turn. I know like like when we at our spot when the Bigfoot put the tree in the road and blocked our way. That was when I first got hooked up with Jeffrey and we started Bigfooting together. The Bigfoot put a freaking 15-foot telephone pole sized tree long ways in the road. It took 4 people to move it out of the road to get by it, right? And Jeffrey's truck was stuck on the other side of it. And, so we had to get the thing out of the road. Only before I let anybody move it, I wanted to track around and see if there was any tracks, that left that big log in the road. And there was no drag marks. There was no footprints. There was nothing. So these Bigfoot carried this big old telephone pole and laid it down on the road long ways where we couldn't drive around it, and you couldn't cut it up either. Like the other ones that fall across the road long, like this way, like they go that way. You could just cut it and then push that little piece out of the way and drive by, right? This thing was laying long ways, so the whole thing had to be moved out of the way. And yeah, man, yeah, they're a trip. Man, I seen the Bigfoot I saw here was at least 12 feet tall, 11 feet, 12 feet. And then I have some friends that live, I think it's Alaska, but they're way up there. They're Inuit, the Inuits. And one lady started messaging with me a while back, and she said that she saw one that was around 25 feet tall. But she took a whole bunch of pictures around where she lives at. There's no trees, right? It's like tundra, and there's no trees at all. And I'm thinking, where would a 25-foot Bigfoot go over there? Like where in the world would it live at over there? And like I have no idea. But only she swears that she saw this. They were out picking berries. I mean, I guess the whole tundra is like berries on the ground, like all over the place. And a certain time of the year, the sun never goes down, so it's like always light. And they go out there and they pick berries forever, and they're out there until the berries are gone. But so is the Bigfoots, like 25 feet tall Bigfoots. Man, you'd have to be 25 feet tall, though, to be able to handle the bears, right? The bears are like 15 feet tall. So if you're going to slap a bear down, you got to be 25 feet tall to slap a bear down over there. Otherwise, the bear's going to eat the Bigfoot. Yeah, but now you guys are getting me excited because I love Bigfoot talk, for sure. Yeah, anywhere he wants to. Yeah, that's right. Oh, man, really? See, I live in the burbs now, too. I'm sad about it, though. Like, I used to live in the hills. I mean, Larry Walker, and he could tell you, man. We used to live up in the boonies, man, in the sticks. That's actually where he walked off his cancer, up and down those hills, mountain roads, in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, it was yeah. Like, what about a polar bear, man? Polar bears. Can you imagine like a Sasquatch and a polar bear fight? Man, I want to see one someday. That would be amazing. Probably never will even see one, but yeah. A Kodiak? Man, I think that's cool, really. I don't mind that if there's things that aren't, as long as you eat the meat and all that, and you hunted for the meat, and you're using it like that, and they're not on an endangered list. I don't see nothing wrong with hunting things. But I mean, if they're endangered, like the mountain lion used to be endangered, I think they need to be hunted in California again because there's way too many of them now, and now they're going to be eating kids and stuff if people don't watch out. I know they're already eating people's babies, like fur babies, like their doggies and kitties and stuff like that. But there's sometimes it's okay to hunt things, and but sometimes it's not. Yeah, I think it is. Is that going to be your Bigfoot walking stick? We'll have to see, huh? It is right here. That's it. I got to figure out how to sell it and make it fair, though. Yeah. Yeah, see? Like, it's going to be fun. But I want to tell you what I'm going to do with this, okay? Like, Sunday. Now, there's a bunch of people on now, and I could talk about this. Sunday, me and this stick are going squatching, and we're gonna go out, and we're gonna go squatching in a really good area, and I'm gonna go with Adolf. I don't know if you guys know Adolf. Uh, Adolf is one of the guys that was abducted in the 10/11/02. You guys remember that 10/11/02? So I'm going Bigfooting with Adolf. It'll be my second time out with Adolf, and he's going to show me some places where they got abducted, and he's seen Bigfoot too. Like, he goes in the mountains a lot. He's Native American. But me and Adolf are going to go squatching on Sunday. So I'm going to take this stick with me, and I'm going to take the flute with me, and I'm going to use it out squatching, and I'm gonna use the stick, and I'm gonna play the flute, and I'm gonna have Adolf take pictures of me using it out there. And one of my friends on Facebook told me I need to get the tip dirty, right? This part right here. And he says, use it in the dirt and don't clean it off. He said, because then it shows that you really did use it, and it's in Squatch area where Squatch dirt or whatever. I started laughing, but I thought maybe that maybe but I'm gonna have him take pictures of me, and then I thought, dang, Adolf is like a famous abductee. Real famous. I mean, 10/11/02. He's the one that had the alien handprint on his car that was burned into his car. I guess they used their hand on his, and it burned into the paint. That's how toxic an alien is, you guys. Man, you don't want him touching you. But I'm gonna use the items, and then to have pictures taken, and then whoever gets the item is gonna get the item with the picture of me using it out there, and a little letter saying what day and the area, or that we went squatching with it on that date and stuff like that. So hopefully that makes it better, a little bit more valuable for them. Yeah, isn't that cool? I've interviewed Brian Forrester a couple times. That guy is really cool. That's one on my bucket list to go see Brian Forrester down in South America. And I know that's something that makes me sad though, is I can't hike Machu Picchu or Chico Machu, or however you want to say that, Tiwanaku. I can't hike no more over there. So, but only I can still go and visit with him and still see stuff in the cities and stuff like that where you can drive. But that's my bucket list thing to do. Also, is go see Brian Forrester. I mean, I was when the last time I was hanging out with Ron Moorhead, I was asking him all about that trip down there, and then even one day we were talking with I think his name is Robert Shaw. It's he came down and sat in the studio with us, and then we interviewed him a couple times. He's the one that hangs out with I can't remember his name, but he had one of the little heads. He had one of those little cone head things, like a baby one, and it had hair on it and everything. And I thought it was real, but I mean it was real heavy and everything. And he told me it was a replica of it. And he went with L.A. Marzulli. He does all the L.A. Marzulli shows. Robert Shaw, I think it's Robert, but. So I was asking him a million questions, and then I was talking with Ron Moorhead about it too. Like the reason he went over there is those things are giants. Those heads, the cone head things are giants, and he thinks that the Bigfoots around here have cone heads. So he's like, thinking there might be related. So that's why he went over there. But yeah, man, I read Ron Moorhead's book like 3 times, you guys. That is a really good book. Like if you want to read a book that's really good about Bigfoots, read that one. And I guess Ron, he's been doing this for a long, long, long time. The last time he was in our area, we went to visit him at his house over in Mariposa, and we hung out with him all day, and it was really fun. I mean, he's really nice. Him and his girlfriend are like really, really, really nice people, and she's really like a healer or something. She's spectacular. Really a sensitive person. But yeah, he has a good book though. In fact, it would explain a lot of the stuff like the guy I was talking to today, where they're orbs. And I was going to say, the guy I was talking to today, he says they are orbs, but when he didn't believe him, and he's like, prove it to me that you're Bigfoots, And one at night, he felt these arms grab him by the shoulders and lift him up off his bed and woke him up. And it scared him and freaked him out, so he grabbed the arms that had him by the shoulders, and he was, going to defend himself, and he realized it was fur, so he grabbed like all this fur, and he said all of a sudden their face lit up where he could see it in the dark, and there was a smaller one and a bigger one, and they were Bigfoots, and he was like, oh, they were proving to him who they were and what they were and stuff. So yeah, it was kind of weird, kind of trippy talking with them, and you never know though, like it's hard to know. Like, I don't know it all about them, and I'm never going to say I do either. I don't think I'll know until I pass from this life into the other life, you know? You know, I believe you about the megaliths in Indiana. I bet all around that area there's mounds and stuff like that, and than I think they're older than the actual First Nation people or the Native American Indians. I think they're pre them, and if you ask them, they'll tell you that it was the giants before that were here before them. You know, like and they had 6 fingers and 6 toes and 2 rows of teeth, and they were mean and they ate people. You know, if you ask them, that's what they were saying. Yeah, pre-flood stuff. Exactly, exactly. But yeah, man, you guys are talking about some cool stuff in chat, man. Really cool. Yeah, you know what? I know what you're saying. You know, I was talking with Ron Moorhead, and it wasn't very far from where I am, is where he was at. It was just on the other side of Yosemite, probably like a 2 hour or 3 hour drive for me to get to where he was. I mean, to get to that side of where he was, and then it would be another couple of hours into the mountains. So, like 4 or 5 hours probably drive to get there. Man, don't get caught digging over there, man. They will get you. I'll tell you that. Yeah. You know what it is that you're doing already, huh? You don't mind digging. I don't think they're really watching and stuff like that. But if you find something, don't go around showing it off. You know, that'll be like messed up. Wow, really? That has to be pre-flood with the soil 4 feet deep. You know, that's like a clue right there, isn't it? Huh. You guys are talking about some cool things in chat. Only I really do gotta go, you guys. I'm having so much fun, but I really gotta go. I have a busy, busy weekend ahead of me. Tomorrow is my wife's day to do things with her, and then Sunday I'm going out squatching, and he wants to leave really early, like 7:30, and I'm not an early person, you know. Like I'm in so much pain. Half the time I don't go to bed till almost 4 in the morning, and then I only sleep like 2 or 3 hours. But he wants to leave at 7:30, so I'm gonna try to like get on that schedule where I could get up early. And if you guys have any kind of ideas on a chat on to change the name of the channel, put them in the comments. Um, if you have ideas on how the best way to sell these items to make it fair for everyone, maybe I could just do it right here, like do an auction in the chat, and you guys can do it like that. Like and share. No, I'm not gonna say that. That's what everybody says. I watch these videos, and all the YouTube people are like and share and all blah blah blah. Subscribe, yeah, right, whatever. You already know the drill, you know, whatever, whatever. So I want you to know though that everybody in chat, when you guys comment and stuff like that, I pray for you guys all the time. I pray for everything about you. I pray for abundance in everything in your life all the time, and I pray for everyone that's in chat and in comments and stuff like that. I want you guys to know I love you guys a lot. I don't think anybody hears that enough, and I really do seriously do care about it, all of you. And and I really seriously want to meet everyone too. I know that might be physically impossible, but I really do. And maybe some of them I can, and I'm looking forward to it when I can. But you guys have a really good weekend. If I get a chance, I might jump in just for the fun of it and say hi for a little while, you know. But if I can't, I'll see you next week for sure. Okay, so stay blessed.